Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Custom Carving and Epoxy UK. So I've been scouring my brain as to an experiment that I haven't seen done with the Petri effect or with resin. And I've been looking at all the videos on YouTube, and I don't think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody's tried aftershave. Without further ado, let's go straight into it in the workshop and see if putting aftershave in the Petri effect in two-part epoxy makes a difference to the overall impact. And let's hope we get a better result than the last experiment that we did. But without further ado, let's get straight to it. So, as always, before we get started, get your PPE on, get your respirator, get your gloves on. You don't want to get epoxy in your lungs. I always struggle with this part. But before we get into the project as well, I just want to say thank you to everyone. We're up to nearly 6,400 subscribers now, so really appreciate it. This project is going to be, and I'm not going to show you the brand in case I get kicked off of YouTube, but it's going to be to see if there's a different effect if we put aftershave into two-part resin with the Petri effect. We had a really cool experiment with the silicone oil that really worked for me, and I love the effect. And I'm always looking for new experiments to try to see if we can get some different effects. I am aware as well that we're doing a lot of Petri work at the moment. So the next video I'm going to do, I'm thinking of trying a couple of other techniques, specifically probably in coasters. So stay tuned for that. But all I'm going to do here is use my usual resin, which is the gel chin one, just until I get to the end of that resin. Just going to mix it up, put it in my bubble removal machine, and then we can get started with the project. And if you're new to resin as well, what you're looking for when you're mixing your resin is for it to go to this sort of clear consistency. All the streaks out, so that you can then, if you've got one of these, put it in and remove those extra bubbles. I haven't seen one of these before. They're from resiners.com. This isn't a sponsored video, but I use them. I find them brilliant. And if you want one, I have got a discount code for you, which is ccuk. I'm going to speed this up because I actually ended up putting it through twice just to make sure that all of those bubbles were gone. I have sped this up sort of 20 times so you can see the volume of bubbles that it actually removes from the resin. As I say, it's been a bit of a game changer for me because I always used to have problems with little micro bubbles, and since getting this, it seems to remove them all, or the majority of them at least. So look at that crystal clear resin at the bottom. Leave it to degas for sort of 4 or 5 minutes, and the whole thing will be crystal clear. I've had a few people on Facebook as well asking what molds these are, specifically for the heart shapes, actually. So I will put a link in the description for you. I got them off Amazon. They're about £6 in sterling. I know they do them in the States as well, and I think they're about $8 there. Really, really good molds. I always spray them with silicone release spray. It just keeps your molds shinier for longer, and hopefully you get a lot more use out of them. I'll get a link in the description for that as well. I'm not sure if you've got the same brand in the US, but I'll try and find the closest comparison for you. And as you can see, that's pretty much crystal clear. There's still a couple of micro bubbles, but what will happen is when you fill your mold, they will rise to the top, and then you can get them with your long lighter. Always remember as well, guys, whenever you're working with these silicone molds, you are better off using something like a long neck lighter than a torch, because if you use a torch, you're at risk of melting your molds pretty much, and nobody wants that. And now for the fun part, dropping the inks. I will be using the Let's Resin alcohol inks in this because I found that they have the best effect with Petri. They also come in the 26 set, comes with 2 bottles of the white sinker as well, which is what I always use for the Petri effect. I've just found it gets the best results for me. Now, when it comes to the colours, I tend to just be creative, so I just have them all stacked around the side of the molds and pick different colours as I go along. Go, that's the inks dropped. Now I'm just going to go in with the white sinker, which is actually one of my favorite parts because you get to see the inks dance, as it were. And I try and do sort of 1 drop per color, or enough to make sure that the whole piece is covered, basically. And I do this straight away. I don't wait any length of time. This is done straight away as soon as I've poured the resin, as soon as I've burnt off those excess top bubbles. That's done, I'm just going to get my aftershave and spray these on the right hand side with a squirt of aftershave. So even if we don't get a cool effect, hopefully we'll have found a way to invent scratch and sniff resin. Who knows? But they will smell nice. So we'll see what happens. Just going to leave those for around about 40 minutes before I come back and do the stir. And just going to give you a close up. I can't see much difference between the two at this point. And there we go. It's been about 40 minutes and time for that stir. Now, when you're doing your stir, you want to make sure the resin leaves a bit of a trail behind, because that's when you know it's ready. If you just saw sort of almost a little sort of stringy effect, that's when you know it's ready to do the stir. And whatever design you put in now will really impact the piece at the end. And again, there's probably about 1,000 different designs you can do if you study how the resin moves as you swirl. I really just like the random effects from doing sort of random movements. Some of them I do wispy, some of them are standard circle, some of them just a standard swirl. It depends what I think will go right with the colours. really hope these work out because I can already see some really good colour combinations and patterns that have come out. So what we're going to do once we finish swirling these is leave them. That's it. Come back 24 hours later, ready for the demold. So we are back and ready for a demold, bright and early the next day. Got up early because I wanted to look at these before work. So this is the normal side, and this is the side that we actually sprayed with the alcohol. So make sure you've always got a coffee when you demold. And it's going to be really interesting, actually, just to see, firstly, after the last video, where we had an absolute disaster, whether or not the Petri effect has worked on the normal side, and then to see if we've got any kind of different effect from spraying them with alcohol on this side. So, without further ado, let's start on the smaller ones. And there's a reason I've been filling these molds, and the reason why is I've got some hardware, which is basic rings, and these cabochons are actually the perfect size for them. So I've been deliberately, with every project or experiment I've been doing, making sure that I'm filling these two next to the hearts if you've got the jewelry molds. And I'm going to do a quick video on that, just on how I do them. But on a positive note, we have got the Petri effect. So, touch wood, we won't have any disasters in this video like the last one. Right, where should we go next? Let's do this single little heart on its own. Again, really colourful little piece. Perhaps over swirled that, I think, because we've got a little bit of mixing of the colours. But it doesn't take away from the effect. I quite like that one. Oh, that's stunning. Just the pink. The pink and the swirl, you know, it makes a stunning effect on its own, this Petri effect. And I think it's something you don't see in any other effect. It's like you've got that little sort of almost fuzz, I call it, at the bottom, and then you've got the lovely ribboning from where you've done the stir. So yeah, absolutely stunning, that one. And this one, I'm guessing, is going to be more of an orange. Look at that. Just trying to get the focus for you. But yeah, I'm glad the Petri's worked anyway. Stunning. It's almost like a lava one, I would call that. Wow. Look at that one. Again, absolutely stunning. So, on a positive note, we know that the Petri has worked. I managed to get the sort of almost a flowery pattern in one of these smaller ones as well. So, happy about that as well. Nothing better than unmolding on a Monday morning before you're due to start work. That's kind of a galaxy. Again, love the swirl in that. Absolutely stunning pieces. Wow. Look at that. It is just like a rainbow. Gorgeous colours. And it just goes to show, you know, if you have a failure, keep on trying. Keep on succeeding, and you'll get results eventually. Wow, look at that. That's got to be my favourite so far. Just the greens, the yellows, the orange, the red swirl. Absolutely stunning piece. Wow, again, lovely. Absolutely lovely. I do love this Petri effect, and I'm getting excited now because I know that these have worked. So see if we've got a different effect on these ones as well with the aftershave that we sprayed. But wow, that is like a cosmos or a galaxy, whatever you want to call it. But look at that. That is, for me, that is Petri in perfection.
Absolutely stunning. Wow. I think we've had a very successful batch, so it's really nice. Again, that heart with the different greens, the pinks, the purples, absolutely stunning. Really happy with these. So yeah, especially after the last results. So let's go for these two big ones. Wow. Again, absolutely stunning. I am going to get you some close-up shots of these as well, because I think the lighting isn't the best in the UK today because it's cloudy and rainy. But again, that's sort of that plant-like effect. Absolutely stunning. Right, and now the let's see if spraying aftershave makes a difference, or will it just be the same? Who knows? Looking at these small ones, it doesn't look to have made any difference, to be honest. We've just, by the looks of it, got the standard Petri effect. Could have actually left these for a few more hours because they're still a little bit soft, but they're okay to demold. Can you see a difference? Maybe the swirls are a bit more pronounced on a couple of them. But there you go. If you're wondering if putting aftershave would make a difference, it doesn't really. They've still worked. The Petri effect has still come through. But personally, I can't really see a difference. So from an experiment point of view, I suppose it's a bit of a failure because we didn't get a different effect, but I'm not upset. These are lovely pieces. Absolutely stunning. And as I say, once we get some better daylight later on, I will give you guys a close-up of some of these pieces. Wow. That is absolutely amazing. But it's great to say that after the last one where we had, oh wow, a few mistakes, we have a very successful batch of pendants. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Pinks and purples actually are starting to become one of my favourites in Petri. Just the colours, they seem to go really well together. And again, we haven't really got any micro bubbles in these, so happy about that as well. Even just one, I suppose this is just one colour. It's absolutely stunning. And it's an effect that you don't see in any other. Wow, look at that. Just that little wisp. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's go with this heart. And again, you can see where we put the wisp lines in there. Absolutely stunning. Wow. But I know I've been doing a lot of Petri projects, so I promise you guys the next project is going to be something a little bit different, because I've got an awful lot of Petri that I've done, and I want to try some different techniques. But yeah, I'm glad to say that these have all worked out. I mean, look at that. Just that design in it. It's absolutely stunning the way it mixes all of the colours together in each and every one of those petals or leaves, whatever you want to call them. But I think, hopefully we've left the wow, look at that. Absolutely stunning. Again, so the project has been a success, but we have learnt that actually adding aftershave doesn't really have an impact. So I'm going to get you some close-up shots of these. If you've liked the content, please like and subscribe to the channel because it makes a huge difference. Great to see that we're growing. Great to see that everybody's liking the experiments that we're doing. And if you've got anything you wanted to do, put a comment below and look out for the next video.
And if you're still with us, please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps so much. It picks up that algorithm. Do you know what? Put a comment in. Let us know which one your favorite is. Let us know which one you like, which one you don't. And if there's a particular project you want us to try, put it in comments. We'll make it happen. Apart from that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.